Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Darren. Welcome to my next stitch with me. Now, as you can see, I don't think I need to show you a picture of which piece I'm working on. I'm working on my supersized tiger family of the jungle, which is my heaven and earth design piece. So we're going to get some work done on this one. And there's a reason why I picked this one, which you'll find out in a moment. It's to do with a question that I've got, so I thought it'd be easier to, might as well work on this piece, as soon as I've got to answer a question on this piece. So there we go. So I'm just going to zoom you in a little bit. I'll say a little bit, fair bit. So we're going to start working in some of this leaves area and see what we can do. So let me just get myself started where I can find out where I am. There. So this is the fun part now, trying to make sure that I keep you in focus. Oops. So I hope you are all well and keeping safe. Hope you're having a good stitchy week so far. Obviously it's only Saturday here at the moment. So that's, if you watch my update, you know I'm trying to get everything done before these storms that were meant to be getting hit. So it's meant, once it starts raining, apparently it's meant to be raining all the way through until next Thursday, I think. Thursday or Friday. We're meant to be getting a lot of rain. I feel sorry for the people down in New South Wales. One area down there got over 300 mils overnight. They had to be evacuated. And then Sydney's meant to be getting it really bad today, so I don't know how they're going to cope. And we have a weather app over here called the Bomb Radar, so you can actually see near enough in real time where the storms are. And the one that's over New South Wales has been in the same spot near enough since yesterday, so they're definitely going to cop a lot of rain. We're meant to be getting about 80 mil of rain over the weekend, so whether we get that or not, we will soon find out. And so it was meant to be raining first thing this morning. It was meant to be starting at about 3 o'clock this morning. We had a bit of rain at some point before I got up, but when I got up it was nice and sunny. So I thought, right, I'm getting the washing done. So I got the washing on and put on the line before I did my regular update video. So just done my update video, gone out, checked the washing, majority of it's dry, which is good, because it's all wet gear. Still a couple of things left on the line, so I'm just keeping an eye on the weather as I'm doing this. So again, if anyone is new to my channel, welcome. This is my supersized tiger family one, and I'm doing it 1/1 full cross on 25 count easy guide. As I mentioned last time, I've ordered my fabric for a couple more pieces, so that is being shipped on Monday, so I should have that by Thursday, hopefully. And that will mean, once I've worked out which pieces are going on what, I've had it serged, but I do need to cut the fabric as well. But it means it's only like one side, then that should need like stitching around. So instead of me trying to stitch around the whole thing, so it shouldn't fray as much then. But yeah, so I think should, if I've worked it out correctly, excuse me, my voice went a bit funny then. If I worked it out correctly, I should then be able to start on 10 new projects. Assuming I've worked it out correctly, and then I've got to work out which ones I've put on which piece to work them out. So that's going to be fun. So work has kind of slowed down a little bit. We've got hardly not as much timbering as we would normally have. but it's not as bad as it was over the Christmas period. So there's enough to keep me going at least. But again, all the wood that's come in is not mainly for mine to saw. But I'm having to do it on my saw, so I've got something to do. So it just means a lot of measuring and cleaning the saw out every couple of hours. Makes the day go quicker, I suppose. It's just a pain having to clean your saw out all the time. So, right. So, I can't give you an update on my mum, because I haven't phoned her yet. I don't phone her until later on today. So you're going to have to wait to find out what's going on further around. So I've only got a couple of questions, I think, from you guys for this one. So I will go through those, get those answered, and then once that's all done, we'll just do some general chit-chat. I'll try and find things to talk about. Right, so the first question I have is from Monica. Excuse me if I disappeared then. It's from Monica. Do you use a stand, and if you do, which one do you use? So yes, I do use a stand. At the moment it's holding my phone so I can record, and use a Lowry stand. Absolutely, definitely well worth the investment in one of those. I've had no problems with it whatsoever. It's absolutely fantastic. So yes, I would highly recommend one of those if you are looking for a stand. I just mark these off as I go so I don't lose where I am. So, like I say, I've just got the plain, just standard metal coloured one. I'm not bothered about paying the extra and getting a brightly coloured one. I thought this one's fine for me, for what I need to do. So yeah, I've just got the standard or silver grey, whatever colour you want to call it one. That's what we've got next. So that's that question answered. This one is from Janet. Obviously she watches my videos all the time, and my Stitch With Me's. So, hi Janet. Trying to now work out where I am. That's that one. I've already done that stitch, so I don't need that one. And she says she never recalls me mentioning what drew me to the Chief project. So the Chief project she is referring to is my Chief Eagle Spirit. I'm not even in view here, so you can't even see what I'm doing. It's my Chief Eagle Spirit, and this is one of the first kits I bought when I started doing the cross stitching. And what drew me to it was just the colours of it. It was something different. Same as that with my Egyptian Queen. The Egyptian Queen one I mainly bought because of the two leopards, cheetahs, whatever's on there. Leopards. That one drew me to that one. With the Chief Eagle Spirit, it was mainly the Chief's head. It just looked really cool how it was in the sky. I used to a lot of jigsaws. I haven't done any for a while, and some of the jigsaws were like, they were all like native scenes, like with wolves and stuff like that on it, and they always used to have some form of person included in them. and it kind of reminded me of one of those jigsaws. So when I saw it, I was like, ooh, I'll get that one. So that's what drew me to the Chief one. It just reminded me of one of the type of jigsaws that I used to do. But I haven't done a jigsaw for a long time, which I'm surprised because I really enjoy doing jigsaws. Cross stitch seems to have taken over my life. As I say, whereas before when I was looking at cross stitch pieces, it would be any kind of thing that I thought looked really cool that I would pick. So whether it was some kind of like scenery scene or something with like the Indians or the animals, and now it just seems to be all animals with the odd scenery one thrown in there for fun. So that's that one. And I think I've only got one more question. Yes. So I've only got one more question, which is we shall now find out why I'm working on this piece. So let me just do this part, and then I'll let my thread and then answer the next question. The next question is from Angela, who is Stitching Brit on Floss Tube. So if you've never seen Angela's channel, I highly recommend going to check those out. She works on a lot of haeds. She's done Paris, a book one or something, I can't remember what it's called now. It's a Paris one anyway, and it's just like a bookmark or something like story keep. They've done a couple of like the different ones. There's Paris, London, New York, or something like that. So she's got, I think she got all of them, and she's completed the Paris one. She's now working on I believe it's New York one she's working on, I believe. My memory's not as good as it used to be. I'm getting old. So, right. Just 2 more stitches, then I will answer that question. Now again, for this piece, I'm using one of the ballpoint needles, which are really, really good. You don't pierce your fabrics half as much as you would normally on a normal needle. The only downside is you can't pin stitch with them. Well, I haven't been able to anyway. And you can't thread it under the back of most of the things either. So I have a spare needle, which is the normal bowing needle for doing my pin stitching and doing my floss when I can thread them. Nope. Maybe I should leave myself a little bit more floss for ending my stitches. Come on, there we go. So the good part about starting a brand new page is you can pin stitch any way you want to. When your page gets full, you can't. You either have to travel to pin stitch, or you just tuck it underneath. Yeah, I'll throw my scissors again. And yes, I finished my pin stitches from the front because I can't be bothered to turn my piece over. So let me just get these marked off. Right, so the question from Angela is: love your Stitch With Me videos, great seeing the piece. What count is it that you were working on? Now I'm assuming that one was the last piece one, which was my dolphin. So that one was 28 count easy grid, and that one is being done 1/1 full cross. How are you finding it without the grid lines? Oh no, it wasn't easy grid, it was just plain Lugana. Without the grid lines, it's a bit different. Obviously you've got to make sure your counting's correctly, so that one I'm basically just trying to work all the colours in one area, so then I don't have to try and count too far. because we all know how good my counting is. She's tempted to do a piece 1/1 on 25 count. I'm not sure how easy it would be to do a heaven and earth piece without grid lines. I'm gonna say, I know she does diagonal stitching, so if you're gonna carry on doing it diagonal stitching, Angela, then you should be okay with that one. It shouldn't be too hard at all. If you're attempting to do cross country or anything like that, then obviously make sure your counting is really good. Because last thing you want to do is be stitching them in the wrong spot. But the good thing with 25 count 1/1 as well is if you do have a stitch in the wrong spot, when you get to it, you just stitch over it again and you can't see it anyway, the colour underneath. That's what I found anyway. There's a fair few in these pieces where I've just re-stitched over them. And in your next video, can you share how you cope with all the fabric, especially on your supersized tiger piece? So that's this one. So I'm just going to zoom you out. So with the supersized tiger piece, this one is 46 inches wide by 35 inches high, if you like. So how I deal with all the fabric, ignore the top part because that's the part where I've moved it up. So the bottom bit here, let me just move these clips out of the way. So the bottom bit here, as you can see, it's a fair bit of fabric there. So what I do is I hook the first bit, I fold it over first of all the way across, and then clamp it down on the Q-snap. This is assuming you're using a Q-snap. I know Angela does. And then with the part that's left over, I just kind of fold it up like so, either in a round or square, and then when I get to the end like that. Now I've got these clips, so it depends if you've got these or not. Which of these, like, they're meant to be cable ties, but they're really strong magnets. And then I just hook the magnet round, and that just keeps that in place. And then I move down to the other side of it and do exactly the same bit. Like so. And that keeps that out of the way then. And then obviously I normally have my ground guard around it as well, so that's covered there. And then with regards to the other side, apologies, you're gonna have to look at my feet. The other side is here. Now again, you can do it the same way, where you just fold the fabric over and clamp it down a bit, and then just again fold it up. But because this is a lot longer, I couldn't get my ground guard around it because mine isn't one of the extra wide ground guards, so it's just a normal thickness one. So what I've done is I've folded it all up so the inside fabric that I work on is inside, so any kind of dirt goes on the outside of it. And then again, I've just used two of these clamps, so I've just folded it up and then folded it over again. And then when I'm stitching, that just sits at the side of me like that, so it's not in the way. So even having it on my Lowry stand, it hangs down, but it hangs next to my leg. So again, it's not in the way, so I can just continue working how I would normally, because obviously this hand's always underneath. So because I'm doing two-handed stitching, I'm not pulling it out to go around, so it's not in my way, so it's fine. So that's how I did it. First time I did this, I didn't fold it over again there, so I had it just as one long piece, and then just put a couple of these around it. But that one was too much of a pain, so I thought, well, if I fold it over again, it's not going to be as big. So that works out just fine for me. So I don't know if that answers your questions, Angela. If it doesn't, just let me know and we'll sort something else out. Show you how else I do stuff. So that's the last page. That's the last question I've got. Yep. So as you remember in my last video as well, I mentioned about those stupid comments. They have now stopped, thankfully. Well, for now. I haven't uploaded my video yet today, so we'll see if they start again, but I've not had any for a long time. So I know a couple of other people have, Kelly, Animal Instinct, again on FlossTube. If you've not seen her, you need to go and check her channels out as well. She does some awesome cover ones, and again, she does a few animal style ones. I've got to find out where I was. There. She was getting a lot of them as well. I think somebody else mentioned as well they were getting a fair few, but they just seem to have stopped all of a sudden. So obviously YouTube has cracked onto them. I mean, some of them, the last couple of ones I got of them, I didn't even have to report them or anything. I clicked on them to report them as spam, and YouTube had already deleted them. So they're obviously on it or searching for certain words, so they can just delete all the ones. But yeah, they were a right pain. So hopefully the naked lady ones don't pop back up again now. Well, that stitch there isn't done properly. I don't know what's happened with that. I'll be able to catch that when I get back. Oh, I'm going to I don't normally insert pictures in these videos, but I am going to insert a picture from last Tuesday. I think it was Tuesday. I was working on my memorabilia, and it has been pretty. The temperature has dropped a bit over here. Well, it had up until like yesterday when it started warming up again. And you can always tell when the temperature drops over here because the cats will spend most of their day inside instead of outside. Now, kitties are normally the last one to start stopping inside. She loves it outside. And it's not until it gets to like a certain temperature or so she will then, I'm hoping this will pull this piece tighter. She will then come inside. Anyway, she came inside the other day, and I had working on my memorabilia, and I had the Garen tote bag on the side. It's great, kind of. And she decided she was going to get in it. She slept in it. I was like, okay, you can't sleep in it until I finish working on this piece, then you're coming out of there. And then she just, I got another piece out, and she decided she was going to sleep in that bag. So I'm going to put some pictures in to show you how stupid my cats are. And I'll put, I think, one or two of Tiger as well. He's a strange cat, how he sleeps. He really is. So he was sleeping in a box. So I'll put that picture in as well. And then the other day I came home and he was just sleeping on the mat. So I'll put that picture in as well. He's stupid. Ginger, I think, is the only normal one who actually sleeps properly. At the moment, he's asleep under the coffee table. Which seems to be his favourite spot at the moment. Normally it's on top of the wardrobe, but for some reason he starts sleeping under the coffee table, and then my feet. So but he has to come over first and sniff my feet, just to make sure it's me that's here. I'll have to see how smelly my feet are, I don't know. And then he goes and lies down. So yeah, so if you've watched my last floss tube, you'll see that I'm hoping to start Pandemic. Now there's a Facebook group for the Pandemic piece, and I've been stalking that one, trying to find people doing it on higher than like 18 count fabric, because most people have been doing them like 14, 18 count, or they have been doing on like the higher counts like 36, but they're doing over 2. I want to do it over 1, so I don't want to be buying really huge pieces of fabric. I mean, this one's bad enough as it is Obviously when I do any more of my supersized ones, they'll be going on to the 28 count, so they'll be smaller. Not by much, but they will be smaller. So yeah, so I wanted to do it 1/1. So somebody actually came up that I was actually doing 1/1, and they just said, like, obviously with the Mrs. Haed silks ones, because of the variegation, it would kind of be a case of cutting the floss at certain colours so that you can do the tightening around the motifs and stuff like that. And they've given me a link for, well, they advised me to watch, I can't remember, it was somebody on FlossTube. I've got it saved in my phone, so I'm going to watch that as well. But if not, then what I might do is, like, for the ones that need back stitching around it, is maybe do those in another colour. Now I did get a small skein of free silk from Mrs. Haed's, which is like a darkish blue. So it means I may do the smaller motifs that need back stitching in that one, and then, I don't know how it'll work, but then it means I don't have to worry about them not standing out. Well, yeah, I think that's going to be fun anyway to do. I'm still waiting on my brother getting me my Anzac piece, but he shows me I should get it by the end of this month. Whether we do or not is a different thing. Also got to order his fabric yet as well to start his 2 pieces, because I don't think I've got that one worked out yet. So yeah, so I need to get that ordered. So I'll get that worked out this weekend, I think, and get that order print. And I can get those ones started for him. So if you're not aware, one of those is a Heaven and Earth design called Winter Wonderland, I think that's what it's called. And the other one is a Cross Stitch Studio one called Whitetail Winter, I believe. So they should look good when they're done. Yeah, I was telling him the other day, I was talking to him the other day, and I said it's going to be about 3 years before he gets them. He turned around and he says, no, I want one by the end of this year. It's like, yeah, that's not going to happen at all. If one of them was a mini, then maybe, but none of them are minis. They're both just normal regular charts. So it's like, yeah, you've got no chance whatsoever getting those by the end of this year. But yeah, he wants one the end of this year and one the end of next year. It's like, yep, no, it's not happening. But yeah, I think I've decided as well for, I know it's a bit early yet. Well, it's not that early, it's creeping up on us pretty quick, but Mania is obviously starting soon. So I'm thinking for Mania, I'm just going to put that in the wrong spot. I'm just going to start my all my things in May, I think. So maybe work on my supersized tiger throughout the weekend, and then throughout the week just start all the new products. So I've got the couple of kits that I've got. So 2 from Angelo. I've got some from, again, I think it was Annette. Some from Diane. So yeah, I'm just gonna start them all. Then I think it's gonna be easier than messing around trying to get it all sorted out now. So that's what I'm planning on doing. My plans change, so you never know. I may start them straight away. But yeah, it gives me a chance then as well to get some more floss ordered for the Heaven and Earth pieces and stuff like that. I know I've got the master kit now, master set, but I still want to make sure that I can get some of the others kitted up, because obviously some of them I'm going to need more than one skein. So they're just, the master set is just so I can get started on them. So I'm just gonna, maybe like every time I place an order for fabric or something like that, maybe just order a couple more skeins of certain colours, or I may just like each week just order maybe $10 worth of floss, just to get until I get all the colours I need. We'll see. Haven't decided yet. But yeah, like I say, I know I'm going to need an awful lot, because obviously the Heaven and Earth one. Mind you, saying that though, I think the Heaven and Earth ones I'm going to start. I think most of them are only like the 90 colour chart ones. They're not the max colours, I think. So they only need like 89, 90 colours or something like that. So that's not going to be too bad. Once I start on the other supersized ones I've got, I think that majority of them are all max colour as well. So they're going to be like 240 again colours. So that one's going to be fun getting all those in. But the only downside with the max colour ones, yes, you can't even see what I'm doing. Yes, they look good, but for the extra colours that you need, sometimes I don't think it's worth it. I think I mentioned this before, like on this one, the amount of colours in this one, and some of them only need like maybe 50 stitches, and it's like, really? So I've ordered a full skein for like 50 stitches. It's like, it's kind of a bit pointless, really. Yes, I know the effect at the end of it is going to look even better than what they would do on a regular one, but still, come on, see what I mean? I really should get myself some, leave myself a bit more extra floss. There we go. I'm not gonna lie, sometimes after so many attempts, if I can't get it threaded, I will lick the floss. I am not ashamed to say. But 9 out of 10 I can get it threaded, but it just doesn't want to play today. It's always the case though. Do a video, anything that you're normally good at doing goes out the window. Gotcha. And also as well, guys, if you want me to see me stitch on a specific project, I think I've mentioned this before, do let me know, because as you're aware, I have a fair few projects, and some of them don't really get touched that much. So if you want to see me do a stitch with me on certain ones, just let me know. And the dolphin one that I did last week, that one, someone had requested that I stitched on that one, so that's why I did that one. But yeah, if you do want me to see me do a certain piece, again, let me know, and I'll dig that piece out. Where did I do that one from? There. Don't you just love it when you're marking your floss off and then you can't remember where you started it from on your chart? Oops, sorry. Apologise, just knocked the camera. So again, for those, I don't know if how many of you know this, when you're doing it, separating your strands, so like you've got your full 6, if you only want just one, just grab one strand, hold the rest of them, and just pull it, and it comes out really easy. Saves missing trying to split it all the way down. Although I did watch Emily, Crafty Emily. Yeah, Crafty Emily, yep. And she shows how she actually splits hers if she needs multiple strands, which I have tried, and it did work once. One time I didn't quite do it right, and it kind of messed it all up. But yeah, but how she did it was really easy. Right, where are we? There, so I want to go into this piece here. I don't know if you've seen as well, if you've ever watched The Needlebug, Karen, she actually finished her Stitches Retreat. So she's been on that one for a while now. I think she said she started in 2016. And she finished it this year. She did take a year out there to do 2 stockings for her grandkids. They were heaven and earth ones as well. So she managed to get 2 heaven and earth stockings done in 1 year, which is pretty good. Yeah, she's finally finished the Stitches Retreat, and it looks absolutely awesome. And someone pointed out as well where I said I'm not very good at counting and talking at the same time when I'm doing my videos. They said I've mastered it, so yes, I am getting better at it. And also my little shout out I did last week for Rennie, sorry, not Remy. She enjoyed that one. She was really excited when she heard her name mentioned. So, Rennie, you're probably going to get you overexcited again, hearing your name mentioned again throughout this one. Yes, I got a nice message back from her grandma saying that she really enjoyed her shout out. Kids are so easily pleased. I like kids. It's when they get to adults and they turn into a pain. Oh, so the other day we had the smoke detector people come out, because they service the smoke detectors every so often. When your lease runs out and it's renewed, they come out then to check it, and then I think they're meant to come out every 6 months, I think, something like that, just to make sure that they're all working. So they came out, not last week, the week before, and then I got a message through on Thursday saying that they were coming out again. And I was like, really? Yeah, they came out the other day. So I phoned up the real estate and said to them, they said they're coming out, but they only came out last week. So she was like, I'll leave it with me and I'll double check it and I'll get back to you. I was like, alright then. Yeah, note to self, check your emails first. Turns out they'd actually sent me an email saying that when they came out to check the smoke alarms, that some work needed to be done. Some of them needed to be moved into specific locations for obviously the guidelines for smoke detectors, to comply with the regulations. So yeah, so they were coming out to do that. So then yesterday I got a message from the realtor saying that it'd been cancelled, so they were no longer coming. I was like, okay. And then I got a phone call from the smoke detector people saying, please contact your realtor. So, okay, so I found the realtor up, and it was like, yeah, one of the smoke detectors isn't wired up correctly enough or good enough for them, and they'll come in to sort that one out. But they're in the process of changing companies, or they're merging with another company. I can't remember what the realtor said they were doing. So things are up in the air at the moment. So she says, but then they sent her a message while she was on the phone saying that they'd cancelled it. I was like, okay. An hour later, I got another message saying that they're now coming out again next week to check the smoke alarms. So right, well this time before I go in there, I'm going to check for emails. Anyway, it took them a while to send the emails through, but again they sent an email saying that they're now coming out to do the work that needs to be done to bring all the smoke alarms up to standards and move them around and everything like that. So basically they're going to be moving the alarms and making new holes, but what they will do is they will fill in any holes from where the old smoke alarms were, but that's it. So they said, like, you will then need to have to repaint the areas where the smoke alarms were. You will have to repaint those. All you will do is just fill in the holes. Oh, thank you very much. Now, bearing in mind, the ceilings over here are like 10 foot tall, well 10 foot high. So trying to get to the top of those to paint the ceilings is going to be fun. So I don't know if the landlord's going to do those or if they want us to do them. I'll have to speak to the landlord. He's coming over to do some work on the house anyway. Do a couple of repairs that need doing. So he's going to be over here in the next couple of days anyway to do all that. So if he sees the mess that the smoke alarm people made, he might decide to fix it. It's pretty good, my landlord. He reports on, think he comes over near enough the next day just to see what's what, because the realtor tell him what needs to be fixed. We have to contact the realtor for them to contact him. He says that's the best way, because if we just tell him straight away, he won't do it, he'll forget. Whereas the realtors just keep hounding him until they get confirmation it's been done so that they can close it off. So he's pretty good like that, my landlord. So he was over here the other day just to see what the works were that I reported on the home inspection. So he's going to go on with those this week. One of which is the front door lock. For some reason you go to shut it and it won't shut. The catch part doesn't seem to go back in. So it's as if the door's locked all the time, but it's not. So he's going to have a look at that one. And two of the ceiling fans, one in the kitchen and one in the dining room, make an awful racket. You can't hear them at the moment because I haven't got them switched on. But yeah, they make an awful din. Now obviously when we have our time off at Christmas, when we're off for 3 weeks, because that's the summer, we have those fans on all the time, and it's just so annoying. In the end you have to get up and turn them off just so you can have a break from listening to them. So hopefully they're going to get fixed or maybe replaced. They are old fans, by the looks of it they've been there for a while, so they will probably get replaced. And then the other thing he's coming to do is sort out our water tank. We have one of the pipes where the water comes from the gutters into the water tank is leaking, so the water's coming up through the ground. So he's going to come and have a look at that for us. Bearing in mind he had to do this last year as well. Last year, two of the pipes, well, there was a load of water coming up through the ground. So me and Shane actually dug down just to see if we could sort out what it was. Thought maybe one of them's come apart, and it turned out that the ones on the ground are smashed, so they needed replacing. So because of all the dryness over here, obviously the grounds dry out, and then when it rains they expand again, which moves things around that are under the ground and smashes pipes. So it's coming. So he had to do that last time. So last time he put concrete under there to try and keep the pipes, well, under the pipes, so that the pipes wouldn't move so much. Which kind of worked, but obviously something's come loose somewhere in a different spot, and so the water's coming back up through the ground again. So it's going to get digging again, he says. So yeah, but he is pretty good like that. I just love it when you've done a stitch and you've not marked it off. Apologies if you just did the moron in the car. Decided to do a wheel spin around the corner. I thought they'd be waiting at least till it rained to do that one. Normally it rains here and every idiot in this world comes out and starts doing burnouts and donuts, and why they only do it in the rain is beyond me. Why they need to do it is beyond me. There's just no need for it. Obviously they've got more money than sense because they're going to have to keep replacing the tyres. But hey, they must be in really well paid jobs. Either that or live home with mummy and daddy who pay for everything. Sometimes you just feel like going out and trying to buy some road spikes just so you can throw it across the road and burst all the tyres. Yeah, that'll stop you from doing it, idiots. Luckily, where I am, there's not many kids. Because the last thing you want is someone doing stupid stuff like that and a kid running out. You don't get, there's not many people who let the pets off either, so there's no like stray cats wandering around. In fact, I've never seen a stray cat wandering around, but again, you're not meant to let cats roam over here. It's illegal or against the law, one of them, because they kill the native wildlife, so the birds, which is obviously what cats do anyway. So yeah, so you don't see many cats roaming around anyway. And most dogs are all tied up. Well, not tied up, but in the yards. But yeah, one of these days there's going to be a big accident from idiots doing that. And then they'll say it's not their fault. Someone should not have put that tree in that spot. Oh, speaking of people hitting trees, the other day coming home from work, one of the roads that we go down is really windy, and it's quite a steep road. So someone had obviously come flying down this road a bit too quick and mistook the corner, shot across the road and ended up in the ditch. It's like, maybe you'll slow down next time. Anyway, a couple of days later, same spot, another car in the ditch. Again, coming down the same road, obviously must have been going too fast. Gone into the opposite side of the road. But not only did they end up in the same spot as the other car, they also hit a tree on the way. Well, they completely wrecked this tree. So they must have been doing some speed down this hill. But yeah, so as we passed, the paramedics were there and the police checking them over. One of the guys obviously was the passenger. He was there, didn't have his top on, and you could see the red mark where his seatbelt had cut into him. So yeah, he was in a bit of a mess. So you would think, I mean, they put speed restrictions on roads for a reason, especially on winding roads when it's going up and downhill, telling you what speed is best to do. Doesn't mean that you mentally think, I know what will double that. So yeah, I think that one is, I think it's a 60k zone for coming down going up and down that hill. So I've no idea what they were doing, but to have flown straight across the road onto the other side and demolished this tree, they must have been doing over 100 k's, which is absolutely ridiculous. Bearing in mind that that road is used a lot by trucks as well, so you do get a lot of trucks up and down there, and they're not small trucks either. They're always the double wagon ones, so it's like got two trailers attached to the truck. So yeah, they're big trucks. So why you want to risk excuse me, going down a hill at that speed, knowing that there's possibly a truck coming the other way, is beyond me. But life is life, and people will learn eventually what is good to do and what is not. And you always guarantee 9 out of 10 it's a P-plater, which I don't know if you have those where you are. P-plater is someone who's just not long since passed the test. So over here they have two coloured P's, a red P and a green P. And I can't remember which way around it goes, but one of the coloured P's means that they've only been driving for up to 2 years. So they have to have this colour on for up to 2 years. And then the other one is when they're in the final year. So they've got to have the P plates on their cars for 3 years. So on 9 out of 10 you can guarantee the people who speed are the ones that are in their first 2 years of their licence. and they think that no rules apply to them. But over here, you don't have to have lessons in a school with a driving instructor, so most of them learn by their parents teaching them. And I don't know what they have to do for the tests over here, but obviously the highway code is not part of it. By the way, some of these drive. I mean, in the UK, one of the good things is for new drivers, they put because in the UK you've got to have car insurance. It's not like over here. So in the UK you've got to have car insurance. With the car insurance, they generally say you have to have a black box fitted to your car. Now this black box tracks the time of day that you travel, the speeds that you're doing, all that lot. If you say caught speeding too much, then your premiums go up. If you drive at the wrong time of days, for which they recommend, your premiums go up. But if you do everything normally, where you don't speed, you drive at the correct time of days and stuff like that, then your premiums go down. So maybe that's something that Australia should really look into, instead of just saying you don't have to worry about having insurance. Everybody should have insurance. I know they have to pay for it for their registration, which is their tax number, but that only gives them third party only cover, which is for in the event they actually do some damage to people. So, but yeah, not now. Well, one day. Right. So I'm going to leave it there for today then, guys. So what we at? 52 minutes. So I've got a little bit done. 144 stitches, not bad. So I'm going to leave it there. So again, as I say, guys, if you want to see me work on a specific project, do let me know, and we can do some work around those. Any questions or comments, again, feel free to either drop those down below, or send me an email. Again, my email address is dizzystitcher@gmail.com. On Instagram, on Dizzy Stitcher on there. So again, you can message me on there as well. So yeah, so any questions, any pieces you want me to see me work on, anything like that, drop me a line. So that's that. So again, thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Stay safe. Hope you got plenty of stitching done. And until the next video, which will be my update next weekend, happy stitching, and I'll speak to you soon. Take care, guys. Thanks for watching.